always ready for a show. Tune in to Kids Radio. The songs that you hear will help your music sense to grow. Tune in to Kids Radio and start your hands to clapping or tap your little toe. Tune in to Kids Radio and listen, we're ready to go.
Well, April 1st will soon be here, and it looks like March may be going out like a lion rather than like a lamb. I don't believe it. Sounded just like a real lion. Came from over here behind my sofa. Surely it can't be a real lion. I'll just take a look and see if it's
April Fool, Miss Carolyn!
Oh, I nearly leaped out of my skin! So it's you again, the April Fool.
Yeah, I just thought I'd come out of the forest for a while this year.
Oh,
Did you like my lion joke?
It was a very good imitation. But wait a minute. If I remember correctly, the last time I met you, you told me you were going to stay in the woods.
Ah, but do you remember why I was going to stay in the woods, Miss Carolyn?
Well, it was a long time ago when I talked with you. I'll have to think about it for a moment.
Well, that's okay. While you think, I'll just open my bag of tricks here and sprinkle a few of these things around.
What have you got in that bag?
Oh, it's full of commercials.
We'll return with more Kids Radio Show in a moment.
Now I do remember when I first met you, April Fool.
Yeah.
It was on April 1st, several years ago, and I was out walking in the woods. I'd left my car parked on a dirt road.
Yep, now it's beginning to come back to you. Think back for a moment, Miss Carolyn, think back.
Yes, it's coming back to me now. What was that?
Oh, that's a transitional harp, to show you're having a flashback now.
Oh, yeah?
Never mind that.
Well, I remember walking in the woods on a beautiful spring day when all the trees were just beginning to bloom, and I could smell the new season in the air.
Walking in the woods on a day in springtime. The buds on the trees are starting to show. The flowers on the ground are starting to grow in the springtime. And we're walking in the woods.
Leaping lizards, I'm lost. I've been wandering around in circles, I think. I need to find some way out or find someone to help me find my way out. But I haven't seen a house or anything. Wait a minute. Here's a clearing, and I see a fire going with a kettle hung over it. And here's a sleeping bag even. But there's no one around. I wonder where they could be.
Well, they could be right here behind you.
God, good gravy! You nearly scared the hair off me sneaking up like that.
Oh, really? I'd like to see that. Let's try it again and see if it works.
That's just an expression. You know what I mean. I was just trying to make some sense after you frightened me.
Well, that's flippity-jib for you. Why don't we sit by the ploopity and we can have some gloop before it turns into gleep, huh?
Flippity-jib? Ploopity? Gleep?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Are you crazy? That's nonsense.
Yep, I'm glad we see eye to ear.
Eye to ear? Speak English, man.
Better hurry over here for the gloop. We can shoot the jabberty-jib while we floop.
Flippity-jib, jibbity-flip, bleep-a-flop-a-floop-a-floop. Flippity-jib is nonsense. Bloopity-bleep, bleepity-flip, gloop, glop, gleep, boom. Bloopity-bleep is nonsense. Flippity-jib, jibbity-flip, bleep-a-flop-a-floop-a-floop. Flippity-jib is nonsense. Blip, gloop, glop, glip, boom. Bloopity blip is nonsense. Jippity flippity flippity flop, floppity flippity flippity flop, gloopity glop, glip, boom. Bloopity flippity flippity chop, flippity 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 chop, choppity 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 chop, flip flop, flip flop. Flippity jib is nonsense, 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 nonsense.
thanks. I'm getting hungry. This is a toasty campfire and tasty gloop.
Don't just let it cool too much or it becomes gleep. Nothing worse than curdled gleep. Ugh.
That's a strange outfit you're wearing. A hooded cowl around your head with red tights and little bells sewed on all over.
Yeah, well, I was about to say the same thing about what you're wearing.
Are you kidding? This is how everyone dresses.
That's what I mean. Why do that?
Well, so that I fit in like everyone.
Sounds like a whole lot of fun. Yep.
Now, wait a minute. Why shouldn't I do...
No, you better wait a minute. What has 20 legs, little stingers all over it, yellow and blue stripes, with little green buggy eyes?
I don't know. What?
Well, I don't know what it is either, but there's one crawling on your shoulder right now.
Oh, now get it off! Where is it? Where is it?
You move pretty fast when you want to.
There's nothing on my shoulder. What's the big idea?
What is that big rip in your pants doing there?
What? How embarrassing. Where is it?
No, you really don't know what day this is, do you?
Should I?
It's April, fool.
Don't call me names.
No, today is April Fool's Day.
Your hair is the color of tomato soup. April Fool, there's a great big gorilla in the chicken coop. April Fool, oh, look out the window, what do you see? Peaches on the cherry tree. I fool you, you fool me. This is April Fool's Day. The cat's in the middle of the custard pie. April Fool, there's a dog in the kitchen and he's 10 feet high. April Fool. April Fool. April Fool, look out the window, what do you see? Peaches on the cherry tree. I fool you fool me. This is April Fool's Day. April Fool, April Fool. April Fool. The pig in the parlor has a big cigar.
Where?
April Fool, April Fool. There's a two-headed elephant in Daddy's car.
I can see it.
You can? Ha! April Fool. Oh, look out the window, what do you see? Peaches on the cherry tree. I fool you, me. This is the day known as April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day, April Fool. The cow in the clover gave a horse a kiss. April Fool, April Fool. You can't ever sing a silly song like this, except on April Fool's Day. April Fool. Fooled ya.
What was that?
Land of Goshen? It sounded like the McGuire sisters, I do believe. Haven't heard from them in decades.
No, silly. I mean those clicks.
Oh, those. That's just some commercials. They pop up when you least expect them to.
We'll return to the Kids Radio Show right after this.
Well, here I am, lost in the woods, and so far you've succeeded in mixing me up even more. Who are you, anyway?
And, you've been mixing me down quite a bit.
What? You mean mixed up?
How do you know which it is? Whether it's up, down, sideways, east or west?
You're just making that up to confuse me.
No, I made it sideways to confuse you.
Oh, I give up.
Really? I usually give down.
Up is a word, and it gives me the fits. We use it all day till I'm losing my wits. It's very confusing, I'm all mixed up.
Every time I turn around, up turns up. We're building up and winding up and working up to par. Mixing up and fixing up and starting up the car. Picking up the garbage, putting up the fruit. Eating up our breakfast and what's more to boot. Lining up for tickets and tying up a sack. Waiting up till 3 and giving up our nap. Polish up the silver, look up at a star. Waking up and shaping up and dreaming up so far. Jumping up and sitting up and turning up the heat. Thinking up and drumming up and running up the street. We're up to our eyebrows in trouble and woe. Up in the air and we're dressed up to saw. Ringing up a neighbor and looking up the hall. Open up the window and climbing up the wall. Washing up the dishes and filling up a cup. Winding up the song 'cause we're all finished up.
Miss Carolyn, come over here and give me a leg to move this log so we can sit down and rest our hair.
What? You mean give you a hand so we can rest our bodies, don't you?
Well, I know that. That's why I asked you.
You remind me of another person I know. He does and says foolish things just like you.
Well, like what?
Well, just the other day we went to a nice restaurant to get something to eat. His name is Mr. Invento, and he always... I'm pleasantly surprised, Mr. Invento. This is a very nice restaurant.
Yeah, well, I thought you would like it. However, I have a small problem with my food here.
Mine is delicious. What's wrong with yours?
There is a fly in my soup.
What's he doing in your soup?
At the moment, he appears to be doing the breaststroke. Or maybe it is the butterfly.
Now, don't make a public ruckus over this, Mr. Invento.
Oh, I will be very discreet. Don't worry. Waiter! Oh, waiter! Come here this instant! There is a big, gross, ugly green fly paddling around in my soup!
That was very discreet, all right. Why can't you just be quiet? That fly won't eat much.
Yes, may I be of some service to you? I'm the head waiter here.
You certainly may. I want you to observe something. There is something at this table that is very shabby and disgusting. I would like you to remove it at once.
Very well. Make it easy on yourself and come quietly.
What are you... not me!
Just
Get
this
your
way.
hands off my collar! No, I don't
take him away.
Remove me from the table! There has been a mistake!
Bye!
Help, Miss
Bye,
Carolyn.
Mr. Invento. He's always doing something foolish like that.
Yeah, but I notice he makes you laugh a lot. That's good, isn't it?
Well, yeah, now that you mention it.
Even though he sticks his elbow in his ear a lot, he sounds like a nice fellow.
Elbow in his ear? You mean his foot in his mouth.
That's what I said.
Well, I hear with my mouth and I smell with my eyes. I see through my nose and I eat with my ears. I clap with my feet and I stamp with my fingers. I wiggle my hand and I snap my toes. Oh, yeah. Well, I get out of the bathroom and I go to bed. Then I go to the breakfast and I eat the kitchen. Well, I comb my teeth and then I brush my tongue. If the food is too hot, well, I'll burn my hair. What? What's everybody laughing? I did it wrong? I did the words backwards? I did not. I'm teaching you a song. What do you mean? I'm teaching you a song. We'll go through it once more, okay? right. Well, I hear with my ears, that's right. And I smell with my nose, of course. What else do you smell with? I see through my eyes. And I eat with my mouth. This is ridiculous. I clap with my hands and I stamp with my feet. I wiggle my toes. That's what I said. And I snap my fingers, of course. I don't snap my ears, do I? Well, I get out of bed and I go to the bathroom. Then I go to the kitchen and I eat breakfast. Well, what else do you do in the kitchen? Well, I comb my hair and I brush my teeth, that's right. And if the food is too hot, I'll burn my tongue. What? That's what I said. I'm not teaching you a song. Goodbye.
Miss Carolyn, which do you suppose came first on Earth? Laughter or crying?
A difficult question.
Well, I like to think it was laughter.
But it could have been crying.
Or maybe we laughed so hard that we started crying. Or we cried so much, we just began laughing. I wonder which did come first.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken or the chicken or the egg?
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken or the chicken or the egg?
If the egg came first, then came the chicken, or reversed, then came the egg.
No one knows the answer to it. How I only wish I knew it.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken or the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken or the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken or the chicken or the egg?
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken or the chicken or the egg?
If the egg came first, then came the chicken, or reversed, then came the egg.
No one knows the answer to it. How I only wish I knew it.
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken or the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken or the chicken or the egg?
You still haven't told me who you are or what you're doing out here in the woods.
Well, there's no fool like an old fool. And that's what I am.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself.
No, that's what I did for a living. I was a fool for the king of Belvacia, his court jester.
I see, but why do you live out here in the woods?
Well, I used to tell the king's little daughter, the Princess Laputia, stories. But eventually I had to flee the kingdom for my life. And I've retired here to this beautiful forest. Now I tell my jokes and perform for the forest animals. They're gentle creatures, and they don't applaud me out loud, but they're not critical of me either. We get along just fine.
So why did you have to flee from the king?
Well, it happened one day when I was trying to teach J sounds to the princess. She liked the story I told her about J sounds so much that she walked around for days just going ja, 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 ja. And the king thought I'd made her stutter.
Put a little rhythm and melody to it and you could have a hit single.
Ja, ja, ja. Yeah, I see what you mean. Well, when he sent for the executioner, though, I figured I was old enough to retire, and so here I am, the jolly jester, retired with my friends in the forest.
Here are some words that have a J sound. J, J is the J sound. Listen to the words in the J sound song. Listen and follow along. Jack,
and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after.
Just a minute, little girl.
Who are you?
I'm Jim, the Jolly Jester. Jim? Jolly? Jester. Jim, the Jolly Jester. There's a lot more to that Jack and Jill story. Do you know what they did after they got better?
No. Will you tell me?
Jack and Jill ate jam from a jar. Then they jogged for joy in June. In July, they ate jelly, and Jack crawled on his belly while Jill did a jig to a jazzy tune. Then Jack and Jill bought some junk at a gym and joked that it was only in jest. They got jade and jacks and gelatin for Jill, and for Jack a jalopy that's the best. And that's the whole story about Jack and Jill.
Jack, Jill, jam, jar, joy, June, jig, junk.
Did you hear some words that have a J sound? J is the J sound. Did you learn some words that have a J sound? The J sound song.
We'll return for the conclusion of Kids Radio Show right after this.
So you were a royal jester that now is living in exile.
Well, you can believe that if you like.
Well, isn't it true?
Oh, I'm not sure. It seems like it could be. Why else would an old fool like me be living out here in the woods like this?
You just answer my question with another question of your own.
Now that sounds like the truth, doesn't it?
Oh, there you go again. Before I go, can you possibly tell me your name?
I'm the April Fool, wouldn't you think?
I think you're a real sweetie, and I've had fun talking with you. I wish I could talk more with you, but I have to go.
Do you have wishes, Miss Carolyn?
Lots of them.
I used to have a lot of wishes, too.
If wishes was fishes, we'd eat till we died.
If wishes was horses, the beggars would ride.
If wishes was tree huts, we'd all climb inside.
If wishes was tickles, we'd laugh till we cried.
If wishes was daisies, we'd water all day.
If wishes was brambles, we'd give weeds their way.
If wishes was treetops, we'd climb up and stay.
If wishes was spring, we'd have 12 months of May.
If wishes came true and we wished on a star,
we'd wish all night long on each star near and far.
If we kept all those wishes all stashed in a sack,
we'd each have a sack far too heavy to pack.
Each one of you has your own special wish, a super colossal but possible wish. If your wish came true just especially for you, what would it be and what would you do? If wishes was fishes, we'd eat till we died. If wishes was horses, the beggars would ride. If wishes was tree huts, we'd all climb inside. If wishes was tickles, we'd laugh till we cried.
Yeah, I used to have a lot of wishes. But since I've lived here in the forest, I only have one big wish. I've watched how all my forest friends live, and I've learned that they all live together well, and they love their forest so well that they take care of it. They just want to live with peace, like it was natural. My wish is that I will return from this forest when humans have learned about the beauty of peace. Does that make me a fool?
That's a beautiful wish.
If you would make that your big wish too, Miss Carolyn, then there would be two of us wanting it to come true. Would you do that for an old April Fool who lives in the forest?
Certainly I will. But how can we make it come true?
Well, it seems to me that laughter is the medicine to cure a world of angriness. Don't forget to laugh at yourself, too.
I'll remember.
And make others laugh.
I'll try.
And one more thing.
What's that?
You're walking the wrong way to get out of the forest and back to the main road.
But isn't this the way you were pointing for me to walk to get back to my car?
April Fool!
Well, that was the last transitional harp, so we appear to be finished with all your flashbacks, Miss Carolyn.
But you've decided to come out of the woods. Does that mean that you think the world is getting closer to living in peace now?
Is that what it means? Well, I'm glad you explained that to me.
No, I didn't say that was the case. I'm asking you if that's what you think.
Well, I know there's still not enough laughter around, and everyone is still taking themselves very seriously. I just think that the world is more in need of an April Fool than ever before. I'm on my way to visit the world leaders and see if they notice how funny some of the things they say are, and also how unfunny some of the things they do are.
Well, what if they won't listen to you or even see you?
Well, then I'll just get as many people as I can to laugh without worrying who they are. But I won't give up. We fools never do, you know.
Yes, and I'm glad of that. Good luck, April Fool. I'll be rooting for you. Till next week, bye.